Hey, how the hell are you? So I guess it's about time I develop a signature way to start my videos. And hey, how the hell are you? Is perfect, rather. It's the way my grandpa answers the phone anytime anyone calls him. So I think it's a good way for me to pay homage to him. So this video will be more long form. I have a whole lot I want to say. But with that being said, the first thing I do want to mention is thank you, and thank you for helping me reach 300 subscribers. I still can't believe it. I just started posting on YouTube consistently this year, and I started off with somewhere around 160, and presently sitting today, I'm somewhere around 320. And it's always been a dream of mine to make music for a living. Um, and though 300 subscribers is nowhere near the amount required to make a living out of music, it's a stepping stone on the way there. And at the very least, it's been an awesome way for me to connect with some people who like music I do. And if that's all it ever turns out to be, that's fine too. So thank you for being here. If you watch all my videos, if you watch some of them, if this is your first video, I hope you'll stay around for more. But at the very least, thank you for subscribing or just viewing. Even those who dislike my content, thank you for clicking it. That's cool too. I get that I'm not for everybody, and that's fine. Nobody is. But the next thing I do want to mention also is because this will be a longer form video. If you want to skip everything I say, I get it. But I will be releasing an album the end of this month on June 30th. It's titled Hello My Brother under the project Symptoms of Lunacy, which is my original metal hard rock project. So I at the end of this video I will include like teaser snippets, 15, 30 seconds of each track, and I'll put the timestamp in the description so that way you could skip that and skip ahead rather and not listen to my whole soliloquy. If you don't want to, I won't be offended. At least you're listening to my music, right? But anyhow, so back to the subscriber thing. It's been really cool to kind of grow on YouTube and do it organically and make many connections along the way. Just a bit of reflection, some of the cool things that I'm proud of in terms of my accomplishments in my YouTube music career, if you want to call it that. My most viewed video is a Judas Priest cover of Dreamer Deceiver, which, if anyone who knows the song, it's a crazy vocal performance by Rob Halford, and I am by no means professing to be Rob Halford or in his class of vocalist. I'm a guitar player first, and I sing for fun. I just started singing somewhat seriously 7 years ago. So the fact that that video has over 10,000 views absolutely blows my mind. And there's been some hate on it, which is cool. I get it. Like I said, I know I'm not Rob Halford, but overall, it's been a really positive feedback, and that's been I can't describe it, so I won't. And just some other cool things. Uh, Queen's Reich retweeted my cover of Queen of the Reich, which I thought was way cool. My Master of Puppets solo has or solo cover rather, has over 6,000 views, and I posted that less than a year ago. I'm sure Stranger Things has something to do with that. And then I also posted a cover of Joe Satriani's ballad guitar song, Always With Me, Always With You. And that's got somewhere around 4,000 views, I guess, at this point. And that's super meaningful to me. My dad requested me to cover it, first of all. And then, second of all, it's always been kind of mine and my girlfriend's song. So the fact that that one did so well is awesome. But honestly, the accomplishments are great. And I won't downplay how happy they make me. But the most meaningful thing to me is when someone comments on one of my original songs and says that the lyrics touched them or made them tear up or it made them feel emotional or they connected with my personal work, that's tops any cover I've ever done. Just one person commenting that makes it all worth it, and it's why I do this. Honestly, making original music is what I'm passionate about, and if you check that stuff out, that's the best. That's the best when I get positive feedback on that. And then beyond that, I mentioned it earlier, I believe. Kind of starting from the ground up and making some connections, and growing with other channels, making some contacts within communities, and that's been awesome. So I'd just like to give a shout out to a couple of the channels who have been most supportive of me throughout this journey over the last couple months or years, however long you've been we've been interacting, if you will. So first of all, I'd like to give a shout out to Josh Keach. He's a guitarist. He's currently working on an instrumental album of his own. He is also a metal aficionado. He does live streams where he does deep dives into bands' histories. I think he has a Slayer one upcoming, and he's also done Iron Maiden and Black Sabbath in the past. And he collabs with other people in the metal fandom, if you will. So he's a cool channel to check out. Also, Steve from All the World's a Stage. I'm not quite sure what the first video he commented of mine on was, but that doesn't really matter. He's a member of the vinyl community, and he posts in-depth reviews of albums, and currently he's doing a series reviewing the best album from each year. I spoke about this briefly in the contest entry of his that I did, but something that I think kind of sets him apart from other channels is he gives context about the year. He'll go into some events that occurred during that year, and it helps paint a picture around maybe the vibe that went into the creative process of making the album. And as someone who wasn't alive at that time, I think and that's not a dig on anyone who was. I'm not ageism isn't at play here, but I think it's just a cool perspective to see that I'm not necessarily I didn't get to live, so I appreciate that. I'd also like to give a shout out to Pieface or Simon. He comments on most, if not all, of my videos since he found me, and it's really cool. He's got a pretty extensive collection, and he posts a lot of heavier stuff. So if you're into like black metal and anything like that, definitely check him out. I think he listens to maybe more than just black metal, but most of the videos I've seen that he posts are pretty heavy. So if you're into that stuff, if that's your lane, check him out. And then another channel I'd like to give a shout out to is Lacey's 80s Hair Metal, and it's a little bit longer than that, but I abbreviated it because it's a mouthful and I stumble over my words often enough. But I met him a while back on Facebook, actually, in a group for the amp that we both use, the Spark 40, and he posts some cool guitar covers of 80s stuff, and he actually just started up his YouTube page, and I think he's somewhere at like 15 subscribers or something like that, so I thought it would be cool to give him a shout out, and maybe help get his YouTube page launched and up and running. I'd also like to give a shout out to Guitar Begins at 40, not because he comments on my stuff, which I do appreciate, but because he inspires me as a guitarist. I started at 16, and I thought I was late to the game with a bunch of my peers or whatever, starting when they were 10, 8, 12, whatever, and I was like, wow, I'm behind. It was a regret that I didn't pick it up sooner, whatever. But he's proof that you can start whenever you are. So if you, or however old you are, rather. So if you think you're too old to start learning guitar, you're not. You might not be able to progress as well as you did when you were younger, or could have when you were younger, but that doesn't matter. Not everyone has to be Yngwie Malmsteen to be creative. If all that you ever play is a couple chords, there's been plenty of guitar players who made careers out of just doing that. So it's not about being an incredible guitarist. It's about having fun and just being the best you can be. And watching just him grow on his channel, he's posting covers of Dream Theater songs, and it's been really cool to watch his progression as a player. So check him out if you need some inspiration. And then last but not least, I'd like to give a shout out to Mark from Twanger's Turntable. We have a fairly similar music taste, and he's also a member of the vinyl community. He actually just recently gave me a shout out because of the Badlands cover that I posted of Dancing on the Edge, and he posted a video of himself listening to, I believe it was Devil's Stomp off their first album. And he's got a pretty extensive metal collection that aligns with my personal taste. So if you like my content, chances are you will like the stuff that he listens to. I'm just scrolling. I filled out a document so that way I didn't miss anything. So yeah, to the next point is my album. I wanted to talk about my album a little more at length. So if you followed my channel for a while now, back in February, I posted a couple videos. I believe it was LaGrange and Ace of Spades, as a tribute to a friend and a bandmate that I lost. But beyond being a friend and a bandmate, he was someone that I would turn to for just life advice. I'm a current grad student, and both of my parents didn't go to college, so there's just a disconnect, I guess, in the extent that they can help me. Not that they are bad or anything for that. It's just they didn't live that experience, and I'm actually currently in grad school at his alma mater. So it was just, he was someone I could always turn to, not just about school stuff either, just about life in general. So losing him a couple months ago has been tough on me, to say the least, and that's putting it lightly. As anyone who's experienced loss, I'm sure you can relate to that. So as awesome as it's been reaching 300 subscribers, he was someone who used to comment on all my videos, and then as soon as he would comment and I'd see the little notification, my phone would simultaneously buzz in my pocket or on my desk, and it would go, "Dude, awesome," or "Good stuff today, little brother," or whatever he would say to me. And I can hear his voice in my head say it as I express that. So, but anyhow, through the grief came inspiration to create. I felt connected to him through guitar, so for the last couple of months, I have just written a whole bunch of music. Not even all of it has ended up on the album, but it was just a stream of consciousness. I have a Google Doc of lyrics and poetry that I wrote, and like I said, not all of it's on this album, but it's been an extremely creative last couple months for me, part because it's been therapeutic, but also because it's how I feel closest to him, if that makes any sense at all. So I'm a perfectionist, and in doing this project, I didn't approach it that way, which was foreign to me. Like, I would be the type of person who would record a solo 600 times, if I, not literally, but if it didn't come out, if I messed up a note, if the bend was a little wrong. And I've kind of learned through doing this that it's okay to embrace something that's a little bit less than perfect, and in a way it even adds a little bit of character to the music. And I know I'm bordering on sounding like a pompous artist or something, but I promise I'm not. Conceited is not in my Rolodex of terms to describe myself. If anything, it's the exact opposite. I lack confidence. But anyway, nonetheless, um, writing this album has been one of the best practices in catharsis that I could have ever asked for. I didn't go into it with a plan. I didn't go into it with a story I wanted to tell. But the end result is, like I said, a story better than I could have planned. It's deeply personal. The lyric writing is something that gives you a window into who I am, my story. It touches upon everything from stuff that happened in my childhood, growing up around alcoholism with my stepfather, into this most recent loss of my friend. And musically, my intention was to write music that's not simple, but easier on the ears than maybe some like Judas Priest stuff. I get that Rob Halford screams aren't for everyone. So I went at this from kind of like a blues rock meets grunge approach. So I guess I would characterize it as Alice in Chains meets Lynch Mob with a whole bunch of other influences like King's X, Joe Walsh, Foo Fighters, a little bit of Metallica. I always they're in my regular rotation in my playlists. But anyhow, with that all said, I also don't want to go into too much of what each song means or my intention behind it, because I think that the best art is one that you interpret, or rather, it's art that you interpret yourself and you connect it to yourself, and that you apply the stories to something that relates to you. And that's my intention with this album. It's been a diary for me, both on the guitar, vocally, all that stuff. I tried to be as vulnerable as possible, which isn't always easy. I'm very proud of the results. And like I said, I know that might seem like it's conceited, but it's not. It's just something that I'm very happy to put out. And like I mentioned earlier, if it connects with one person, that's enough. I don't care. If it makes one lonely person feel a little less lonely for a little bit, that's good enough. So if you will listen to my music, awesome. I really appreciate it. I hope you like it. If you don't, that's okay too. You could let me know why it sucked in the comments, I guess. It would help me grow as a musician too to hear some criticism. So I'm not opposed to it. I'm not beyond it. I don't think it's a masterpiece or anything like that. There's flaws in it, just like anything, but it's been crucial to me maintaining my sanity. So I wanted to share it with everyone. So anyway, enough rambling. I wrote that in my notes because I knew this would happen. The album is available, or going to be available rather, on all streaming platforms on June 30th of this year, so 2023. I also will make a limited run of make-to-order CDs. I have a CD burner. I bought a bunch of blank CDs and jewel cases. So if you would like a physical copy, if that's more your lane, we can work out pricing and shipping and all that stuff. Just let me know. I have my email listed on my page. I'll also include it in the description. But if you don't want to buy it and you just want to stream it, or you don't want to listen at all, that's fine. Whatever. I'm just happy to put it out there, and I appreciate you if you made it this far in the video. I'm currently looking at about 20 minutes of a video. So in closing, thank you for supporting my content. thank you for helping me gain some self-confidence when I haven't always had it. And to quote Steve Vai, I wish you all peace and love and good happiness stuff. And without any more rambling, I'm going to start to play the teaser tracks for you. So here you go.
Violence is love. Nobody knows. Violence is love. Wounds never show. A lifetime of pain felt over these 10 years. I don't understand how I'm still here. I wanted to give up so many times. I came pretty close, but never crossed that line. Evil grin like I'm a little bug. Little bugs pasted upon the wall. Little bugs, oh, they make my skin crawl. Little bugs, they're always watching me. I love the sound of the rain hit the ground as it falls. Hello, my brother, I have been counting the days since you're gone. Since you're gone. Count down from 5, taking the sights. What a pretty painting. Wounds that not even time can heal. Where will we go when the bombs come down? Will you take my pain away? Sick and tired of suffering. They don't like the sun much as anyone. They stay far away. Over and over, again and again, I think I'm stuck